Thomas, Johan, thank you so much for your time today. It's great to get this session in now as we build towards the start of pre-season. Thomas, just tell us firstly, how's the sessions been so far? Have you been impressed with the boys?
Yeah, it's been good. We had the first session on grass today. There was a lot of tests Saturday. So yeah, it's been good to have them out there. That's the fun bit. That's where we try to affect things. So yeah, good effort, good mentality. Yeah, happy.
Fantastic. And Johan, let's get into a little bit about the coaching staff, because this is really exciting, right? We know who our coaches are going to be for the season, we know about the whole team, but I wonder if you could tell us about the process.
Yeah, of course. In the interview process we have with Thomas, we spend quite a lot of time talking about which kind of staff should we try to assemble around Thomas. Firstly, we mapped out which kind of competences did we thought was important to have the best possible staff before we start to put any names to it. Thomas had a wish to bring in a few coaches that he has worked with before. But for all the other roles, we've had a very, very good process where we've interviewed several candidates for each one of the roles, and standing here today with a very, very good feeling and quite excited about the staff we have put together.
Yeah, it's a really, really exciting group. Just tell us a little bit about them, Thomas, and the roles that they'll do individually and as well as what they'll provide to the team more generally.
Yeah, let's start with the three assistant coaches. Justin Cochran, who come from Brentford and worked with me before. He'll be charge of the offensive part of the game, and then some training planning and get that smooth and running. Then we got an Andreas Georgsen from Man United, but also worked with him previously in Brentford. That will be assistant coach, but main focus on set pieces, off diff restarts, and some culture bit. And then we will have Matt Wells, who will be responsible for the defensive part of the game and also contributing to training. And I think that the way they split the roles, I think is really good and covering all the abilities we would like to have. Then we have added Cameron Campbell, that is the individual coach and big on how we develop the players. And that was a big wish from both Johan and I, something we talked about that we thought was crucial, and I think not many clubs have actually nailed that. We tried in the past, so hopefully we can take it to the next level. Then we got Fabian Otte in as a goalkeeper coach, really excited about him coming in. Great experience in terms of working with some of the best goalkeepers in the world, and hopefully can help push the goalkeepers. And then finally Chris Haslam, which is the head of performance first team coach, which is of course the physical part of the football training, all that, but also the link to everything. So I think we got a very exciting group together.
Yeah, Johan, just tell us a little bit about the other roles that we have within that coaching setup as well, that just bridge the gap, I guess, between the academy and the first team.
Yeah, as Thomas referenced, I think it's important for us to have specialists. We are very fortunate as a club that we are able to attract some of the best specialist coaches in the world. And as you say, we also made a couple of internal promotions. Stuart Lewis will come into a new role as transition coach between the first team and the academy. And as Thomas said before, around Cameron coming in as the individual coach, we want players of all ages to have that development mindset. But of course, to strengthen even more the bond between the first team and the academy is something that we have worked hard on it for a number of years. And with this new hire of Stuart coming into this new role, we believe that it will be even stronger in the years to come, because we have some very, very exciting young players that will come through, push in the upcoming years, and they need, maybe a little bit of special attention as well to bridge that big gap that it is to go from academy football to the Premier League. We have Dean Brill coming into a new role as assistant goalkeeper coach. He was head of academy goalkeeper coaching. Again, it shows that we want to show both players, but also staff. It can not only coaches, it can also be in the medical, performance analysis, scouting, in all the departments. That if you are coming into our academy, getting the DNA under the skin, that we can have good, exciting pathways for coaches, specialists in this football club.
Thomas, tell me a little bit about the way that you line up your coaching staff. So you broke it down there into the different areas of the field. Is this usually the way that you go about building a coaching staff?
Yeah, it is. I believe it's very important to have combination between clear role description for the coaches, so they know what they are in charge of. So it's not like, okay, today what are we doing today? So no, they know the roles, they know what they need to execute, they know what they need to be on top of. But also, they need to be able to overlap each other and help and make sure that the most important thing is that training out there is world class. So we need to be with quality and intensity and focus. So that's the main bit. So I think clarity is important for everyone.
And I know a lot of Spurs fans, I mean, there's been so much enthusiasm and excitement to see which coaches you'll bring in, how potentially you'll go about things, but also what you'll do on the analysis front. So tell us a little bit about that in terms of the way that you'll be preparing for games and the way that you'll be preparing for pre-season.
Yeah, so in the analysis front, we also got Joe Newton in, that came from Brentford as well. So he will be like a coach analyst. So he will be the bridge between the analyst team and the coaching staff. So we make sure that everything is aligned in terms of training, matches, debrief, post, pre and post match, and how we prepare for the opponent. But just as much and how we debrief the game, because it's the way we play, our principles. That is the most important thing. But with the twist we use, or how we tweak it to the opponent.
Is there anything that you look out for in terms of the types of person that you want in your team?
It needs to be people that understand that we are a unit and we need to work hard together. And yes, I know half of the coaching group, the other half I don't know, but so we need to work on that relationship. That's an ongoing process. So hopefully when we know each other well, we know how we work together, how we are aligned, and then we get up to a very well-run engine that just deliver every day.
We're now starting to go into that bit which, I mean, I used to think of pre-season, when I heard players talking about pre-season, as the thing they hated the most in the world, right? Because it just meant running. But things have changed a lot. Preparation is slightly different now in the modern day. What does preparation look like as we look ahead to the next few weeks?
I don't know if I'm a modern coach or not, sometimes, but we started running today.
Set them up in the old school.
So I think old school is still good school. So I think that's still important to have a bit of that. Now we had a running test today, and we'll have that again when the international is back, and probably also a little bit later down the season. But in general, it was a short test, basically a 1K test. So, and if they did it well enough, they're below 3 minutes and 15. So that was sounds easy, huh? Yeah, with turns, by the way. So I think, oh, that's done, and then it's football. Everything with the ball, everything is on that, and then we will top up with some runs, because I believe there's a big bit in that mental part of pushing. Yeah.
And you've got a little bit of time now before your first game, so our first pre-season game will be against Reading, and I guess the players gradually start to filter back in. How excited are you to get to that point where you've got the full group?
That's what I want. So I want everyone in, really compare them against each other, see, how's the mix, how's the relationship. Of course, I know the group in terms from looking from the outside, but it's different when you're on the inside and you work with them, you feel them, you understand them better, and we all have our own views on certain players or relationship, and it's up to me to find that perfect combination that make the team perform on the highest possible level.
Well, gents, thank you so much for taking the time. So I'm very aware you've got a lot of work to do, and it doesn't stop now. You'll be working non-stop over the next few days. Good luck in that first game against Reading, and good luck for the rest of the summer as well.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.